Well, hello again everybody. We left Bessie and Jim in a right pickle, didn't we? Bessie about to be towed away to the scrapyard. I do hope Mavis can help, don't you? Shall we find out? All right. Mavis was so shocked that she didn't know whether to help Jim or stop Bradley towing Bessie to the scrapyard. Jim started to groan and Mavis started to help him up after his little tumble from Bessie's engine. "Quick, Jim," said Mavis. "What shall we do?" Jim looked at Mavis, but he was still a bit dazed. Mavis looked at Jim, and then Mavis and Jim shouted at exactly the same time. "Bessie is our friend! Bessie's our friend! Oh, Bessie's our friend!" But Bradley's crane was so noisy that Martin the mechanic couldn't hear them shout and started to connect the tow hook. Oh no! Perhaps you could all help at home. How about you shout it out as well and let's all do it together. What you do is you shout out, "Bessie is our friend," 3 times. Okay, here we go. Bessie's our friend. Bessie's our friend. Oh, Bessie is our friend. Well, thanks to all of our shouts, Martin heard us and he stopped Bradley's big noisy crane from taking poor old Bessie to the scrapyard. What a relief. "Bessie is our friend," Mavis explained to Martin. "She's very special. She takes children to school and to the zoo. Bessie also takes people to work and takes families to the seaside for their holidays." "Well, I'm really sorry," said Martin to Mavis and Jim, and he jumped back into Bradley the yellow breakdown lorry and drove off as fast as he could. "Are you okay, Jim?" asked Mavis. "Yes, thank you. Good job I had my driver's cap on. But oh, what a day. I think I'm ready to go home." However, Mavis and Jim still have to make a special visit to the British Motor Museum. Jim asked Mavis, "Why do we have to go to the museum? I've had enough for today. I think I'd rather leave it till another day." But Mavis replied, "Oh, well, Jim, I'm afraid Bessie's getting very old and tired. She struggles up the steep hills. She hasn't got any lights or a roof, and you don't even get a windscreen. Anyway, some clever people at the museum are very interested in Bessie. They might even know how old she is." "But I've only ever driven Bessie," said Jim, "and that means we wouldn't have a bus." "Oh, Jim, the bus company have wanted to buy us a new bus for years. It might be time to say goodbye to Bessie. Come on, let's get going and meet those people at the museum." Jim went to the front of the bus and grabbed the starting handle. You remember how many turns he has to do to start the engine? 1, 2, 3. Right, let's all count loudly then, together. And 1, 2, 3. And can you guess what happened? Bessie's engine started straight away. Just shows you Bessie's better. Feeling happier, Jim climbed up onto Bessie and Mavis rang her bell and they were off. Ding, ding. Your turn. Ding, ding. Lovely. It's quite a long journey to the Motor Museum and there were many hills. Poor Bessie struggled up the steep ones, puffing out of breath. Your turn if you want to go. And but going downhill, it was quite different. Bessie didn't have very good brakes and whoosh down the hill they all went. Let's make a big whooshing noise, shall we? And whoosh! Driver Jim had to hang on to his steering wheel. "Slow down, Bessie," he said. "I won't leave you at the museum if you're not happy." Poor Mavis was also hanging on with both hands and would not let go, not even to ring the bell to tell Jim to slow down. They were going so fast that Mavis had trouble with her hat, but eventually the road flattened out and they arrived safely. Once there, they were greeted by two very smiley ladies, Catherine, who we call Cat, and Charlotte, who's Charlie. And they took a good look at Bessie. "Wow," said Cat, "Bessie's very special. Did you know that she's almost entirely made of wood?" "She's amazing," said Charlie. "Do you know she's nearly 100 years old? She really shouldn't be working, you know. She needs looking after." Jim looked at Mavis, and Mavis said, "But will Bessie be looked after here?" "Oh, yes," said Charlie. "I promise you Bessie will be taken good care of." And Cat said, "People will come from all over the world to see Bessie, and they'll get on her just like normal, but she won't have to work anymore. She will be lovingly looked after, and I know that she'll be one of our most popular exhibits." "Come on, Jim," said Mavis. "Let's say our goodbyes. We can always come and visit again whenever we like. Bessie's in a good place with people who care. She may even become famous. Bye-bye, Bessie." "Bye-bye, Bessie," said Jim. Well, everyone, let's all of us say bye-bye, Bessie, and watch her as she joins the museum. Big wave, everyone, and bye-bye, Bessie. And the Motor Museum is where Bessie is today. And guess what? You can come and see her as well. You can come and see her with Mavis and Jim, and Brian, the driver's mate. And you'll be made very welcome. And we hope to see you there. The end.